Are we there yet?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. This is Captain Valen of Vagabond Gaming. As always, today I am Seto, the Eladrin Therogue Divine Sorcerer, and I am accompanied by most of the usual motherfuckers.
I, I am motherfucker number one. I am Mike. I play Steve, the Furbog Druid, in this Hill of Bones.
I am motherfucking number two. I play. My name is Zoe. I play Walden, the Warforged Barbarian Ranger.
And I, for now, am the final motherfucker. The DM of this campaign, A Hills of Bones, or Bones Have Hills, or dead things in the ground. Last week, that wasn't a week ago, the team ventured into the outskirts of Hanka to regroup and meet Crit Crack and Yen. Upon meeting them, settling down Bolt and giving a pyre to their lost comrade Decree, they interrogated the Bolt they had captured. Uh, After a few questions, it became clear that Bolt was one part of a larger song, a single voice in a choir of creatures singing the same tune. They found out that there was some kind of grudge that had manifested from the Dying Lands and the Badlands, maybe from the mistreatment, maybe from something else, but it would be hard to say. And the plot to resurrect at least some form of Gruseth was hatched from their grudge. Brad Langford turned out to be an anagram, and this is how the group found out. And when we last left off, Jorg and Martha were still unconscious and unable to answer some of the larger persisting questions. However, with a newfound list of things they might be able to understand if they're good at it, the group has found that there could be a difference between Hanker now and Hanker of the past, and certainly a discrepancy in the maps. Without having a clear way to understand this, the group has decided to try and head back to Hanker for a little bit and find some more information before launching potentially a final assault in hands with the Alliance, a group that you guys found out more about last week, which is what Luke and Groot are part of. So these two are working in the shadows to try and overthrow what could be a shadow government's tyranny. We set the scene. It is probably at this stage around 5 or 6 p.m. You guys have been out for a long time. You guys have been out since 3 or 4 in the morning with the earthquake going into the chapel. So you guys are starting to get a bit tired. You haven't really eaten either. So I'd say, although you guys aren't particularly physically tired, you are all very mentally drained. Seto physically has changed, having a grayish pallor to his skin, the saturation leaving, and almost a void of all season. Um, and I would say that Crick Crack and Yen are noticeably uncomfortable having seen you guys assassinate Bolt, although there seems to be an unspoken word of this is what was possible. Okay.
So
Oh,
this is kind of like their safe house type area, even though it's totally not the ruins we were at earlier.
Excuse me, my sorry, excuse my poor map skills.
No,
It
this is a
is
brand
just
new map. I've never
generic,
seen this before.
yeah, just generic meeting point that's out one of the side entrances of Hanka.
So is it like a place where we could rest?
Yeah, it seems although it's ruined, it's not the same catacombs from before. It just looks similar. And although the walls aren't like totally roofed everywhere, you definitely could take shelter from any kind of gust of wind picking up sand. There does seem to be higher and lower points as well for you to kind of position yourselves safely. So you reckon if you wanted to take either a short or long rest, this could be a good place to do so?
Okay. How we all looking, like health wise and shit?
I'm at 50 of 59, but I'm more concerned about not having spells.
That's fair. I'm okay physically. I don't necessarily need to rest, but if we are resting, then will stop us, of course. So Seto, how are you looking on health and spells?
Health wise, he looks like sullen as shit. Like I don't know how else to put that. Like just
Well, I'm
devoid
talking.
of
We're talking
color.
like if we want to do a short or long rest specifically.
Uh, I'm feeling real 30 out of 50, so like I could use a quick rest to really gather myself as best I can, I suppose.
That's fair. Probably best to do. Do you want to do just a short rest or a long rest? I know Steve wants to get spells, so maybe we do a long rest.
I feel like it's an acceptable time-ish to do a long rest, but like I don't know if like someone's gonna come looking for us. Like I want to know the thoughts of the NPCs.
Well,
You know what, Steve? Give me a wisdom save.
ooh,
Wisdom save.
you should be good at that.
Save.
Cool. Steve has a little think about the area, purveys where they are, looks at the chance of like vultures, like if there's any kind of signaling that could happen. He notices that Bolt, being mostly just skin, probably won't attract any kind of carrion feasters, as there's not really flesh to scent the air. And he sees that like they're far enough away that they can't see the lights of Hanka, so it's unlikely people would come from Hanka. And after kind of like purveying the scene, Steve's pretty sure that if he needed a longer nap, then there would be no real consequence to that.
Well, Steve feels safe then.
I'd purvey that to the group.
Yeah. Well, if you feel safe, then I can take first watch.
All right, I guess we'll have a rest. I mean, I'll still be conscious.
Same.
Be sitting
There's
there.
only one person here that needs to sleep. Just kind of slowly turns towards.
Towards me, I'm gonna turn towards the two people that are passed out.
They do not turn, they are passed out.
There's
We
only
have
one
confirmed
person
that this
True.
isn't like
currently
a,
conscious.
yeah, we have confirmed that this isn't like a like, oh, there's something like deeply wrong with it we have to fix right now.
I
But
can
since we're
rest.
waiting anyways, I'll like before I go into my long rest, I want to do a check just to make sure like if I could figure out why they're asleep for so long.
Oh yeah. So I think what I'd say is because Steve's the one that needs like spell slot mechanics. I would say that rest in D&D rules doesn't have to be full sleep. It just has to be a lack of physical activity like walking or cooking or stuff like that. I feel like observing Martha and Jorg would not count as cooking, walking, etc. It would just be I noticed they're incredibly still, stuff like that. So I think that I would allow you to have a perception check for free over the course of a few hours because you're also a warforged, right? So you don't
Yeah.
need sleep. So I feel like during this time period, I would allow that for sure. And I would allow a medicine check, but I'm pretty sure you're not great at those. So I would.
Yeah, it's a flat zero.
Yeah. So I thought I'd say perception because you're like observing them more than like poking them with a stick. 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And I
So-
would not be able to do anything like that because I actually need to rest, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Seto, you took first watch, right?
Yes.
Could you also roll me a perception check?
Percepciones. Roll the dice. What? Oh, I missed that centimeter right, but what is that, a 9? Oh, I hit it twice. Sorry.
That's okay.
16.
Whoa,
Cool.
whoa.
It's alright. So Walden, you observe throughout this kind of time period, Seto kind of paces the perimeter slightly. It's almost like he gets to a point where his walking has become his trance. Like he's walked himself into a trance of perimeter walking. He's like become so on edge that like whatever conversation was keeping him as awake has slowly trailed off, and you see the pacing kind of stop around where Steve, Luke, and Gruta have held up shop, and he kind of like sits down and meditates for a bit. You see kind of tumbleweeds as they slowly drift across the desert, and one thing you distinctly notice about especially Martha, although Jorg does seem to twitch more, although their breathing are both steady, you do notice that they are unnaturally still. So Jorg has the odd twitch, but he doesn't roll over. And you're used to this Goliath being fairly active all the time, including when his eyes are closed. Martha, you don't know well enough to have the assumption, but Jorg, you do.
Okay.
It seems like he's come down with a case of the scheduling-itis.
I mean, since it doesn't seem like there's much that we can do right now, I'm just gonna keep an eye out and not really worry about it. Something comes up, we'll deal with it then.
Yeah, I would say that you don't notice any kind of pain look on their faces, like they seem just still. So you kind of start to suss together that this isn't a medical situation.
Right. All right then. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I don't got shit for this.
So the night passes, and because you guys kind of started to camp up and rest quite early, I'd say that once again you're up quite near the crack of dawn. It's like 3 or 4 a.m. You all gain the effects of full long rest. And what I would also say is you probably at this time of day, because the sun hasn't really started rising, have an easier way to get into the city. So if you chose to stealth in one of the side entrances, there would be a bonus on those. On the DC would be lower, essentially. Because it's quite so early. Like, people aren't out scouting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're focused on the earthquake situation.
That does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We know we need a map to correlate the old map and the new map. So I guess this is the time the rogue does the rogue thing and goes and gets us that map.
It could be.
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe
Who knows?
not. Shit. 15
Wait,
for my stuff.
where are you getting this map?
I'm going to the village center where everything, like all the stores and stuff were.
So we're in Hanker.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that we left yet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna gather.
Is that not
right? You hadn't said that you'd made it. You were heading anywhere yet, but I had assumed that you were heading down.
Yeah.
I'm not planning on walking back. I'm gonna wild shape into a vulture and go very high and see if I could survey the land while coming back.
Do you tell us the plan for a vulture? Because people might not be so, like, wish-washy about carrying birds right now. Picking at their loved
I don't really
ones.
care what it is, just some sort of desert creature.
right? A hawk, I think, would have a
I don't
better
care.
perception,
Doesn't matter.
right? Like, I don't know. I'm probably being too literal. Sorry, continue. I'm an idiot.
No, just not the last one that I picked wasn't very. Just
I
pretty.
feel like Steve would know desert enough birds to know that deserts do have things like that aren't just, like they have birds.
Okay, I turn into a bird that can fly high and not be eaten by other birds. I don't
I'd
care
say
which
like
bird it is.
kites. Kites are in the desert too.
Sure,
Like,
I turn
what about
into a
hawks?
kite. It doesn't matter to me. It's something that's, I guess, that's not in the D&D compendium. I just okay, it was whatever.
Mhm.
A hawk, kite, whatever it's gotta be. However you want to do it.
A flavorful desert bird surveys
Okay, one flavorful desert bird that
That's-
isn't like
yeah,
offensive to humans and can fly high.
that's fine. That's fine. To be fair, an owl would make sense at this time of day for once. Like this is the one time of day.
You know what?
But
Owl.
so like if it helps, it is exactly owl hours. But like
I just looked up red kite and they look dope. But yeah,
Yeah, they are. They're
Owl.
pretty dope.
owl
Extra
works.
dope. Dope.
yeah, so are you gonna do like a perception of what's happening in Hanko right now?
What?
Like just kind of a fly.
I mean, yeah, I could do that,
close.
but I was more. My thoughts were just because we're in the desert and we're trying to get like a map / layout of like what's real to kind of get like a giant aerial view as much as I can until we get a map.
Okay, in that case, you would see something that the others won't see yet. So give me 1 second and I will show you what you see.
Oh God.
Oh
Thank you.
God.
Oh,
Oh no.
jeez.
Oh,
I'm an
geez,
owl.
sir. You are an owl. Me too, to be fair.
Ask Jeeves.
Who are you? Who? I'm so clever.
Hello.
I am in the shadows.
Kitty! It's Steve. I love cats.
Oh, that's so good.
That's fine. Apple.
That's a good
Oh,
choice.
so good.
Oh, there you are. For context, I couldn't work out who Steve was because his name was a name I didn't know was there. So that's what you see.
Oh, I didn't look. Oh, geez. Oh, that's my crotch. Okay. Looking. What?
Is that abandoned tunnel that giant's butthole?
What? No, that's fine. What? This
you
is what
know
I
what?
currently see.
Sedo can think that if Sedo wants to think that.
What do we? Oh, okay. No.
So one thing that I think you guys would have all pieced together that Steve would definitely be seeing, there is a large water mass oasis that was shared between the Dying Lands and Hanka that Steve doesn't see and you guys certainly haven't encountered that's on your map.
Don't love that.
Fucking mute. This
Yeah, you
whole
are.
jib job thing right here.
Mhm.
Right? Alright.
Yeah.
And
In
it
fact-
is not there.
It is not that.
Out there. Hanka does not border the water.
And then there's Killadeer to the fucking mountains. I don't want to do that without.
Excuse me.
We gotta figure out what dried up Africa. Water
Ooh.
Africa.
Maybe I can bless the rain.
Okay, fair enough. The shape isn't actually that far off. I was for a minute very worried. That did not. That did not compute for a second there.
But that does leave the question: could Steve bless the rains in Africa Lake?
Bless the rains.
Me and you are about to become not friends.
Oh man, what?
Did it? Sorry, did it already have a name?
It did not. I'll be real, it did not. But it isn't there, so that might be why.
So it's the Africa Basin now.
Can we leave that continent out of this situation?
Leave Africa alone.
But there is a basin. Fuck it. Okay,
There's a
fuck
basin.
Africa,
Well, it's an
but-
oasis.
All right.
That's a big oasis.
Yeah, that's
It
pretty
was. Yeah, it was.
That was a lake,
Yeah.
big boy lake, bigger
Yeah.
than the ridge that took us 2 days to get over.
big. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, and probably roughly across easily the same as the other lake on the other side, like of the thing too. So it's fucking gigantic.
I would say that proportionally it is about correct that that lake would be larger than Hanker itself by a long way.
All right.
Like double. That would be correct.
Fuck.
All right.
Well, it was, I mean. There's nothing there, right?
Does it look like it goes into the like the abandoned tunnel? I'm being good. Like, but no, does it look like there is a correlation between the water, like evidence of like it moving in that direction?
I would say that you haven't encountered either of these things to know.
That
Like-
is a fair response. Yep. Yep.
Steve,
No.
give me a perception check.
A perception check. That's
A
my
perception
specialty.
check.
Not today, but it's still okay.
So yeah, as you kind of fly high enough to get a surveillance of like the land, you see like the lack of lake. You see Hanker as it kind of
I get an
is-
advantage on that too.
Oh,
Because I'm an owl. Hold on, I got sorry.
yeah.
Slightly better.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of shocked purely because you have a plus 11.
Yeah,
That both
they're-
of those
they're- those are horrible rolls.
Yeah. But I think it'd be probably about the same. Like you see what you see, but you also notice that people are decidedly still within Hanker. Like you don't see many guards on the posts. It kind of looks like people have been pulled into the city. Like you don't really fly over all of the city. You just kind of fly high enough to see the structures. But you do notice like there aren't lights on. It seems very quiet. You don't really hear people either, especially from so far away.
I want to specifically fly over the place that we just were, as well as the bar, and quick pass through the Warforge factory as well, just on the outside to see what's going on in those three places.
I would say, although you're flying and flying is quicker, by the time you actually start flying over enough of Hanker to be around that area, it will have been a sufficient amount of time. So I will let, if you choose to do that, that's fine. But I would let the party decide what they did with like the hour or 2 hours it took you to do all that.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do then is, if you're kind of having a flyover of Hanker altogether, if you could give me another perception with advantage, and then I'll switch over to the team and then let you know what you see once I know what they're doing.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh, hell yeah. That's better. Cool. Yeah. So you'll hear more about what you see in a bit. Walden and Seto, you are with Luke, Gruta, and some lifeless individuals, Crit, Crack, and Yan. Steve, at this point, I'm going to say has been gone for 15 minutes. And it's at that point that you start to think, I don't think Steve's coming back very soon. What should we do? The floor is yours.
That's a good question.
Even though he's like pallid and stuff, kind of like just turns over. He's like, I believe we need to see a cartographer about some business. Right?
Yes, there seems to be some oddities that have been happening in the area that in the last, I'm not exactly sure how long, so confirming that via cartographer does seem to be like a good idea. I'll turn to Luke and Gruta, ask them, hey, do you know if there's a cartographer nearby? Do you know if like there's somebody that we can contact who's kind of on the level?
Yeah. So as you turn to them, Lucrid seems to be kind of calming Yen, Crick, and Crack. Like they hadn't seen Bolt for a long time. Although they understand, they're still uneased. Whereas Gruta is a bit more battle hardened, and she responds quite quickly to you and says, "Yes. The thing about cartography is, well, it's a skill, and although some of us have it, generally it's more a scholar's trait. We could definitely find someone, but we would have to go and ask the scholar district. And as a religious quarter, the scholars tend to be quite, well, let's say they keep an eye on them."
Well, fortunate for us, in my trance last night, I knew what we would need today, so I was able to adjust accordingly. So,
I'm not quite certain what you mean by that.
elves
very
don't
elaborate?
elves don't sleep. We converse with life lessons of the past, memories, things like that. And I've learned a lot in life and in other lives, and we can call upon that knowledge within preparation. And the moral of the story is that I know a thing or two about cartography now, but less about masonry.
I am going to choose not to question that. If you understand a bit, maybe we could ask somebody trustworthy, and you can compare dead people's notes.
Yeah, I think that would be the best course of action with this.
That's possible. And she kind of turns to Lucrid and says, Is Liza still contactable? Is she still above ground?" And Lucrid kind of looks up and goes, "Oh, well, I suppose it's been a while. Old Liza's definitely did take refuge for a while, but I think she's actually back topside these days." "Okay, good. Yes, I think we know someone that can help." So do you guys kind of head city side? Or do you wait for Steve?
I'll follow their lead. You know, Steve can take care of himself for sure.
And he knows he can find us fairly easily. Like, I'm we don't have our like 10-foot tall mountain man. Fuck. It's like, so actually, but I can just message him to tell him where we are.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be too big a deal. Wait, right? Or do I need to see them? Just start messaging random fucking birds.
If it's the spell message, then it's pretty one plane of existence. It's pretty overpowered.
120 feet.
You have to point your finger at them.
Is it?
Message is 120 feet. You have to point your finger at them, and then only they will hear you.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm thinking of sending stones.
There's another one which is, what is it called?
Sending.
Sending. Yeah. Sending is the same plane of existence.
All right.
All right. So I'm just gonna start pointing at random birds if we need to. Like, are you Steve? Nope. All right. You Steve? These birds are gonna be confused as shit.
It's one of us called Steve.
Right.
Yeah, so I'd say you guys probably start kind of like heading in. You're with people that know the backcountry routes pretty well, so I'd say that you get there swiftly and fairly unseen until choice. At that point, I will switch to Steve, who would have at this point already made it. Steve, other than all of the things you see, you would notice that some of the places that you've already been are notably crumbled from the earthquake, but you also see that people have started to, at this point it's coming into like the earliest parts of the morning, right? So people are starting to kind of get to the street, but it really does seem to be to collect water. It's like people are solemn. You start to hear bells tolling across like districts that might be out of grieving. You notice that all of the major chapels have opened their doors, except for the one that you
Slaughtered?
I don't know, slaughtered. Yeah, committed assault. Yeah, I suppose like raided. That one is distinctly closed, and there are guards around the perimeter. And it seems like people are kind of going up to the guards and being like, "Why aren't you helping?" And they're like, "Not now." The Goblin District, the kind of slummy area, it seems like there's a lot of open flames. Unfortunately, during these kind of times of mass panic, people tend to be the cruelest to the weakest. And you can definitely tell that there's been a lot of looting and fires happening over the course of the last 24 hours. I would say the bar itself, you notice, is pristine. Like, it's almost like there's an unwritten rule that you don't fuck with this particular place, that everyone that's from this district knows. And as you fly over with that perception check, I'd say you do see someone who's very clearly not from the district. They're a kobold, and they go to kind of like try and ransack the bar. As you fly over, you see the bar physically whiplashes them with one of its support ropes. They get like a bleeding nose and they scamper away. I'd say, yeah, and you have reached Hanka. Where would you probably like search next?
I think, well, that's pretty much an overview of Hanker at that point, right?
Mm-hmm. I think working with Seto, you could probably make a map together at this stage.
Okay. I'm gonna say, what would I do? What would I do? Do I see them coming to Hanka?
I'd say it probably takes them a little bit longer than it took you because they're not flying. But I'd say as you've started finishing up, kind of perusing over the city, you see them probably about 20 minutes away in the distance. Because you're in the air, right? Like you're in the sky. So
Yeah.
and you know who you're looking for in a group of like a giant warforged pulling a Goliath in the middle of a desert is fairly noticeable to at least a bird,
I like to
even
think
if it
it's a
isn't to someone
piggyback.
on the ground. It probably is.
I think I would just like wait for them.
Fair enough.
That works. And indeed you do. Oh yeah.
Are you waiting for us? Because right now we're going to go get a map that we can make together. So it might behoove.
Well, I don't know where you're going. You're moving, so I'm gonna wait to see where you're going.
All right.
Because if I can be stealthy in some way at some point, I'm gonna continue to do that.
That's fair. I just need to be able to point at you.
I just need to be able to point at you. I'd say that Steve at this stage in his life has been a bird enough to know where to perch to see you guys. So he might be able to see you, but the question is, will you notice which bird is Steve?
Oh, I'll get there. Steve.
Steve.
There's gonna be a bird that's like, I'm Steve. Do you have a Y? No, you're not Steve with a Y, are you? Fucking Steve. Get out of here.
Well, this is the question. Like, how
saying?
many spell slots does it take to speak to all these birds?
Oh, I can't speak to birds at all. They will not understand me. But they will hear it.
If you're you already discussed that you'd be trying to keep an eye out for Steve. So what I'd say is it would be fair for you to perceive. Can you see a Steve on arrival?
Fair, and he did turn into an owl literally right in front of me.
Yeah, like you know what he's done.
All right, give it the old perception. 16, unless you give me advantage.
I'd say, Walden, do you assist?
I here's the thing. I don't think Walden would think to. I think because like Walden is like, we've got a thing we're doing. Like Steve will find us.
No, that's okay. That's like Seto's thing. Is like he's keeping an eye out for who he needs to, and like simultaneously preparing to like.
I'm a lot more worried about like avoiding the wrong people in the town than trying to find the one fucking specific bird.
Exactly. You are on your mission. I'm on my mission, and we're working together, baby. That's how that shit works. You keep us safe, I keep us together.
In that case, Walden, could you give me a stealth roll?
Okay.
You got that.
Ooh, not bad.
Nice. I would say that unless somebody was directly looking for you guys, Walden has been careful to kind of like keep an eye out for any onlookers and keep you guys like lower to the ground. Steve, although I'd say you would see them, Seto probably takes a minute before he works out which owl could be Steve. Do you do anything to help him see you?
If he's within like distance of me, I'll be like, woo!
And that's the one I point at.
I'll allow it.
I'm like, who indeed, Steve? Oh shit!
Steve,
like
you get a message
bird.
in your brain saying, "Who indeed?"
And then, oh shit! It's like the fifth bird.
I continue to sit perched.
You son of a bitch.
Steve
You
does not.
absolute
There's no
bitch.
reason for me to do anything.
Steve does not join the party. Steve does not go fast go.
At least respond. Let me know that it's you.
Can I do that?
Yes. Oh, you don't know that. That's fair. Yeah,
I
you can
don't freaking
respond.
know that.
You can respond to me. Yes.
It's telepathic.
He said, so he says, who indeed, Steve? And I go, Steve.
Steve.
It's sweet.
It's who indeed, Steve, and then immediately after, oh shit, this was the fifth bird.
Yeah.
And then just an audible bird sigh.
Like, it's definitely Steve. Just points to the sighing bird in the distance. But yeah, he's real smooth with it, trying to be, I guess, stealthy while pointing at this weird bird for no reason.
Okay. As you guys regroup, a little bit, what kind of? So Steve has a good understanding of the layout.
We're off to get maps. Sorry, I should that point. That's what we're doing. That was the whole purpose of this, was to tell them we're getting maps.
Oh.
So
So I tell him I pretty much know what everything looks like.
yeah.
And if you tell me with enough detail, I could put it down on paper in a very skilled manner. Let's do this.
How much conversing can we do with this message thing?
We're doing it. Like, this is how it works. Like, I'll say a thing, you say a thing. It's like walkie-talkies, but only one way, and only 120 feet. Wait, yeah.
Wait, how does Steve tell you it's Steve? If it's
What?
one way.
No, like, only me and them.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
other
okay,
people
sorry.
can't hear it.
So two-way.
Yeah.
Ah.
You know what? Shut up. Very wrong. Okay. But yes, two-way. Sorry about that. And yeah, it's pretty dope.
So I'd say Luke and Gruta tell you that the scholars are on the northeastern side, along with a lot of the more factory-like systems. And Steve would know routes to get in. So do you guys kind of stealthily go into Hanka?
I think what I'm going to do in this situation, I'm going to act as like a lookout and kind of like tell them where they can and cannot go, and tell them to go to the scholars. I'll verify what they tell you.
Okay.
Kind of just be like, okay, don't go down the street. Go down this street. Kind of like
All right.
give him that sky
like
view
it.
map and direction from where I am.
Okay.
You're our guy in the chair, but you're a bird on a tree.
In that case, I think what I'll say is you guys, with Steve's help and Luke and Gruta kind of knowing the rough layout on foot at least, you make your way past. You don't go through the main south gate. You make your way across the desert slightly. This does take you some time, like to walk around. It literally probably takes around 2 hours to circumnavigate the area so that you can go in towards the scholar area in secrecy. Can you give me, I think, the most logical thing?
Wait, how long is this?
2 hours.
Oh, that's a long one. But
Including
whatever.
what I've done before?
That would have been about an hour, maybe half. Maybe no, an hour. So it's been 3 hours.
I am no longer an owl.
Yeah. That only lasts for about an hour.
Well, it lasts for 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, that's still dope. But yeah, that's
So, before I get to that 3 hour point, I'm going to. Where am I? What am I like on a? I'm on a roof or something? Where am I?
You tell us, man.
I think I would. Well, I can't tell you. I think I could tell her. I'm gonna say I'm probably on that central thing,
The blue roof.
Blue Roof Center, but yeah.
Oh, the map.
Yeah,
changed.
makes sense.
Ah.
In that case, I think what would probably happen is you guys still do that, and Steve kind of like probably does some form of bizarre bird wing signaling, and flies back and forth to get you into Hanker. Walden's been making sure that you guys are kind of undercover already, so I'd say that you don't need to reroll for that. And you do make it into the Scholars Center. At this point, though, I think because you've got unconscious people, Gruta and Lucrid would probably wait with Yen, Crit Crack, and only Gruta would come through, just so that there are people protecting each other, not going through the city, potentially being seen. Yeah. Also, it probably takes you longer just to navigate all of this stuff with them, right? Crick and Crack aren't exactly battle hardened. You at this stage, Steve, are no longer a bird. Where do you become
what
less
district am I
bird?
in?
So, okay, while you were waiting on the center, there's some like gardens by it.
What's that? Say it again. I had background noise.
Oh, there's some gardens by the scholars
Okay.
district.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
This will be easier in a minute.
Okay.
So what I'm going to say, just to get us to that point, is due to the nature of the chaos of the earthquake, you guys don't really find yourselves needing to like justify stuff. Like there aren't guards actively posted everywhere. You had Steve's help. You've got Luke and Gruda helps you kind of get down the cliff face to the inner city. And she also has a person on the inside, so she kind of tries to take you slightly into the cliff on the very starts of like underground almost. And you find yourself in what I can really only describe as a mechanical cavern. It seems like the inside of this place has been hollowed out on purpose. It's an unnatural hollowing of this cave. And so there are support foundations of rock that are holding it up, but rather than it being natural, like it's almost like Romanesque pillars that have been carved out of the structure of the cliff face. And this place is pretty large. And you find that in general, the Scholars District is empty. Like anyone with any kind of expertise is on deck trying to help people right now. So could you guys give me a stuff check? All of you who are there.
Oh, come on, almost.
So close.
They like rested on the 20 and then just like, eh.
Oh,
I hate that so much. I mean, sorry.
Steve, are you towards the scholars?
I don't believe I am. Don't think we figured out that.
Oh, well, you're not a bird, so I'd assumed you'd. Well, where would you go when you?
I
knew
was
your
trying to figure out if I was going to stay on. I was trying to figure out where I was going.
Okay.
Let's just say that I came back to the group at this point to make.
Yeah,
our life easier.
I feel like you guys regrouped. I don't feel. Yeah.
What am I doing now? Stealthy boy.
Yes, please.
One stealthy boy, as not bird.
Okay. I think what I'll say is, although there's very few people here between Steve and Walden, um, Walden, I don't think you've actually been to this part of the city before.
Makes sense.
And you find yourself kind of like taking in the sights a bit. So you're trying to hide, but you're also super curious. So it's really clear that you've not been here because you're looking around so much.
Mm.
Seto is walking like he's a local. Steve, Steve, however, is also curious because like there's all these desert plants and gardens in the Scholar District. It's one of the few places that has like a botanical element to it. And he's probably got a bit distracted by that. Um, and as you guys make your way into this kind of man-made cavern, um, a small little kobold comes up to you, shortly followed by a air genasi. Um, and Gruta doesn't look too panicked, but does seem to like pull her hood down a little bit. Um, and they kind of come up to you and go, "We're not accepting students."
Uh, no,
Oh,
we're not here for uh student stuff. Uh, we're looking for a new map. We're adventurers. We like to, explore. We want to make sure we have a good map for that.
Oh, would it not be possible to buy a map?
Well, that's why we came here, so we could find somebody who would sell one. Yeah, it's a bit of an art. It's like it's a difficult process. We came to, are we in the wrong place?
Hey, well, if you just want to buy a map, I suppose right now the district might be a bit over busy with what's been happening. If you're adventurers, wouldn't you? I'm sure there's a gold to be earned by helping out the earthquake relief.
We already did our fair share of uh assistance. We helped out when the earthquake first hit.
Oh, I see. Um, right. Well, there is a library, but we tend not to let out books to not students. If you, I, and they look quizzical. Give me a
It's
deception
oh
roll.
crap! I did it too late. After this roll,
Are we sure it's deception? I mean, like, I haven't technically lied.
yeah, there's what I was about to do.
Like,
Uh,
because I've been very honest. Like, we're here to get a map, a new map of the area. Well, I haven't told them why we necessarily need a new map, but we are adventurers, so that part's true. I don't think there's a single thing that I have said that has been false necessarily.
okay, so that's my bad because I thought you guys were here to make a map, not buy a map.
That might be me being confused then.
I don't think there's a wrong way to get a map in the moment
Yeah, in that case,
because
if there is a role that is charisma based that you would rather do, then I'm all for it.
Not really.
In,
My best is intimidation, but I'm not being intimidating right now.
okay, maybe would maybe okay
can I
because you're
jump in?
not. Yep, yep, yep.
All right, all right. And then from the left, you see Seto. And again, the color is gone from him, but there's been a focus about him at the very least, less distractible, less whimsical. And he comes out, and his hair is pulled back in kind of a tight, and the mask that he usually pulls up over his face is now fashioned more into a fluffy ascot as he comes out from the burrows. Goes, now, my good friends, we're here because I, the great Seto, need to update your maps, you see. because there have been developments in south of Grin's outpost that are important to be named and be added to all of cartography.
For that, you're definitely going to need to.
That's actually very truth. He's talking about Seto's fault.
I would say performance.
Oh, that's fine by me. I love it either way. Like, I'm not. That's fine. I'm not.
Yeah, fair. So
That's
you
that
kind of
smolder.
like ham up Seto's fault to this kobold and this Air Genasi. They look quizzical, nod, but their intellectual side gets the better of them, and curious to see what Seto's fault could be, even though you've never mentioned it. They kind of look at each other and go, well, okay, any information is good information, right? If you wish to buy a map, I'm not sure how much we could help, but I tell you what, if there's new information, we do have the materials to make maps. I tell you what, wait here. And they kind of dash off. But while they dash off, Gruta like elbows you and goes, if we're here for Liza, now would be a good opportunity to go find Liza.
Out of character, you're gonna have to remind me.
Yep. I was like, "There's a Liza? Who's this Liza? Oh fuck! I know. That's not the sleeping person, right? No.
That you asked about a cartographer, and that's why we were here in the first place.
Because we need maps.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you have a friend cartographer. That's who. Okay, I missed the name for some reason.
Oh,
Oh,
Your
okay.
friend
Sorry.
cartographer is Liza. So where is Liza? Where is she?
Well, I hear she's above ground at the moment, so somewhere in this cave system.
Okay, but so we came to this area, and then these people came out, and they were like, "Hey, we're not accepting new things right now." Are they preventing us from going into the cave system that the friend is at?
Well, I can't imagine they'd be best pleased if we, went into campus grounds without being students, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to potentially make a map with them. But the thing about being here is I thought you needed a cartographer. That's what you said to me.
Right. There's discrepancies in the area that we wanted to figure out that could be incredibly important. Like there was this gigantic body of water that was here and is no longer there. That's a big one. We want to see if there's anything else.
We were going to compare maps from times to see when that body of water disappeared between, Wally's time and our time, right? Like that was part of this.
That's a main thing. We also want to see if there's any other changes.
And
well, that's why I thought we'd come to see Liza.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So
yes.
Let's roll this back really quick. So we came to this area to find Liza. She is that way, and I point to where the Air Genasi came from, and is like stopping us from it. She's in there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
we were a bit too clunky to get past them, but we've distracted them. We've got an opportunity.
Okay. Now we're going to go in. We're going to search for Liza now. Great. Awesome.
Great.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Good. Good.
Good. Sorry for that confusion, folks.
That's not a problem.
That really came down to just me not even registering the name.
No, what got me is I definitely said it twice.
Because
it was like,
register.
And it didn't register. So I was there like, huh?
Like, once you said Liza, my whole brain went,
It's fine. I just panicked that I'd done something completely unnecessary and I got the wrong answer. It's fine. Right. Yeah, you continue making your way through. The cave system, what you notice is why maybe Gruda said above ground, is this cave system seems to go down. Like it starts at the base of the cliffs and it goes further down.
Okay.
Would somebody roll investigation as you all kind of look for where the cartography unit might be in this?
Mine
Who's
is
got a good investigation? I got a pretty good investigation.
I got a +3.
Oh, after you.
Oh yeah.
Mine's +4.
Oh.
What? Why are you so smart?
And we're in a
My
desert
intelligence
location.
is only +1, but I have
Oh,
proficiency.
yeah, proficiency. All right.
Sexy.
Investigate, my friend.
Get it.
15, not bad.
Seximus.
Nice. Okay. I would say that everyone is helping you.
Yes.
So if you want to fish, I'll let you fish.
Nice.
Okay. Nope.
Cool. At 15, I'd say it takes you a minute or two to orientate yourself, but you work out the kind of almost Dewey Decimal System that is making up this university cave. And you start to recognize the numbers correlating with like the names. And so you see like humanitarians all seem to be 1s, like the arts all seem to be 3s. And so you look down a corridor, you go further down, and once again, Gruta kind of nudges you a little and goes, I think we're here. As you point out, a room full of scrolls that looks like there is a continent shape on the door as a symbol. And Gruta points out some fish bones on the floor.
Okay.
Fish.
Well, I'll try to not like step on the bones and shit, but I'll continue forward.
Yeah.
I enter.
Yeah. This isn't really enough to make me hesitate. I'm just kind of
No. It's fine. Give me 1 second to.
Got 16 stealth when I go in. Because I'm always. Like, the less you see me, the more I can get away with. It's a really simple math equation.
Yeah, give me. This is taking longer than I anticipated to load.
I'm mad that I still only got like a 16 with a +11. Like me and Mike today with our big number rolls, just getting the bottom of the barrel with it, but still being okay. You know, that's the point. Until he gets a fucking 30.
Yeah, right.
I see God.
Just give me 2 secs.
He's napping in Florida.
I just want to do one thing.
I don't want to have to kill a kobold in Air Genasi. But I will.
Today would be nice. There we go. Sorry, I realised that the picture I needed is on its side, and I'm having that moment of rotating in Photoshop last minute. I really didn't need a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Wait. What? Okay. Maybe it's not me? Bear with me.
What's going down, sad clown?
When I open it, it's the right way up. When I load it, it's the wrong way up.
That does seem weird. Oof.
Yeah. Okay, it's working even though it shouldn't be. That's fine. That's fine. This is fine. This is fine. Okay.
I'm gonna take this hot second to get a drink.
That's probably fair. I'm gonna use that hot second to cry.
All good. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. No, 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 no.
All right, I'm gonna go be human for a second.
Yeah. Should we take a human and come
Yes,
back?
everybody
in?
is human.
Yeah,
We're going
everyone
to be
Okay.
human.
My bad, guys.
No, you're good.
There is no bad. There is only human.
It's only human.
So were you expecting me to like go to like the where the
Beep boop 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 boop. Beep boop 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 boop.
I'm starting to learn that the best way to do this is not the way I'm doing it. I'll put it like that.
I would say the only reason
We'll
why I
begin
did
now.
it was because there was a potentially like larger threat somewhere else that like shouldn't wait. Like it was just like, oh, this is like end of the world level possible scenario. So it's like I will put my personal grievance on the back burner while we figure this out.
Yeah, I think I need to start not answering questions. Does that make sense?
It can't. I think I know what you mean, but
I'm confused.
I go ahead and clarify.
So I had plans for this session to be doing ever so slightly different stuff. I thought when I said about the map, because I've got this map, that it would be a different logic, but I don't like to push you guys into the logic that I think is right. And it's starting to become that because I'm not pushing you into my plan and I'm just dropping hints, I'm not having necessarily the route that you take prepared. So are there things that I had planned to do with the Scholars District? Yes. Did I plan them to be this session? No.
Well, here's the thing, because like I feel like there may have been a bit of a miscommunication because like
Mhm.
The reason why we're in this like academy was at least in my mind entirely prompted by the NPCs, because like I think our plan was just like we're gonna find a map from over here, we're gonna try to find an older map, and then we're just gonna like cross-reference stuff as much as we can from publicly available information.
And then fuck shit up in the
Find that.
Wally Mart or whatever the
Right,
fuck.
that was our only thing. So like
Okay.
that was our thing. I think if we were just
What-
gonna go to
what
like a map
fucked-
store, that would have been like that was our initial plan. You mentioned
Yeah.
this character, and we're like, okay, you have a thing around this character. We'll go in that direction. It may also be more effective.
Okay,
So-
I know where this has gone wrong then. This is essentially, sorry to say it to you, but Seto went into trance, specifically told me that he got cartography, and specifically said he wanted to make a map. This is why we've gone to make a map. I understand what you're saying because it's true, but the other side of the story is that I was told I've specifically done my trance to get cartography, and this is what I want to follow, which is fine, and I have no issue with. It just means that it wasn't the plan I had before.
I just was trying to help with the comparative mapping part. Like, that's why I did. Oh, fuck. This.
No, it's fine. It's just like.
Fuck, I'm sorry. Because, like I said, the plan was to go fuck shit up in Wally World. You know what I mean? Like, that was.
I don't know how to lead you guys away from things.
We can walk this back a little. We understand that like some communication was miscommunicated. We're human.
Okay.
You know, we're all like we've played long enough. This was a like
It seems to me
A
that we're going to
kerfuffle,
open this
yeah.
door, and they're not going to be there, and we're going to go, huh?
Oh no. I have enough stuff that's
Oh,
prepared.
I know, but I'm saying use that as an excuse to make us come back here later.
Right.
I think I have ways of making it work where we can appreciate some redaction.
and
If you you give me 2
yeah.
seconds.
And Senator definitely wants to come back anyway because this is gonna have the place with all the information on Pan and Perth, Paith.
Hey. In that case,
So
I'm
there's
going to
always
do it a
that.
little bit differently. Take the reins a little bit more than I normally would, and push you guys into a direction. Just because I feel like at this stage, we're going to end up going in a circle otherwise.
All right. Thank you.
So rather than answering questions, I'm going to directly point you guys where you should be. Which is,
I will say this to make your job a little bit easier. If you want us to fuck up the factory, have Walden be reminded about what's going on in a negative way. It's going to put him on a warpath.
okay, so
I like
in
that.
that case, give me 1 second, just to zone myself back. Okay, so we open the door to a turtle who is a snapping turtle and is crunching some fish bones in her large snooty mouth. She looks up, sees Gruta among you, and quickly puts down the fishbone into a satchel on her waist belt and goes, "I am dieting." At which point you guys are introduced to Liza.
Liza is the most badass person that I've
That makes my PP a TP. That's so fucking dope.
Nice.
Holy shit.
Sweet.
What a thing to say.
Yes, I was going to comment on that, but I decided not to.
That is so fucking. That's one of my favorite kinds of turtles too.
I love that.
Oh man, that's.
I think I'll just kind of like, you know, pull my hands and be like, hey, no judgment. We don't really know you, so you probably didn't have to say anything. We would have just, you know, thought it was fine. Hi.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I wasn't actually your friend. And she like gestures towards Gruta, but in such a like shooing manner that you're not actually sure if she means friend or like something else. And then she continues, we discussed last, and Gruta like goes like and whispers in specifically your ear, Walden, as you try to like reassure her. I once told her that maybe she'd be less wrinkly if she worked out, and it's been awful ever since. And so you get the idea that this is a personal beef between the two.
Oh. Okay.
And then she kind of like surveys like between all of you, and rather than her eyes moving, only her neck moves as she looks at all of you around Gruta and goes, "What do you want?"
Well, twofold. One, to update your maps with the newest cartographical occurrences, and to compare a few maps against some current maps to see the cartographical changes that have happened in the last looks over at Wally. 200 years?
Something in that time frame. Yeah.
200 years.
200, you say? A twice of century. Interesting, interesting. And she kind of like faffs around another satchel and brings out what you assume should be a quill, but there are no feathers and a distinct fishtail on the end. And you say twice century. Is this a place that I know of? And she starts like drawing details of your faces to add context to the information.
Yeah, but we'll start with
Whoa.
here, essentially. Just start here and go out as far as you can.
What? You said you had information for me.
Oh yes. Toward down on the southeast corner, above below that place that I said earlier, because the map was up. Yes.
Oh, Lapshire. Yes, I know of
Lapshire.
it. Oh, wonderful fish out there.
Well, there is now a rather magnificent flaming cavern known as Seto's Fault. It is large and burning and will be there for quite some time.
Well, who's a large cavern fire? You say?
Quite large, yeah.
What caused it? It hadn't come up on our radar.
Through the course of adventuring, things have happened. Enemies and ne'er-do-wells camping and making residence where they shouldn't. And horrible things happen in the extradition of said ne'er-do-wells and ruffians.
You are trying so hard.
Right. In that case, you'll have to. And she like goes into yet another satchel, pulls out a slightly damp piece of parchment, but you see a map on this parchment that matches the one you've been traveling with, except for one very key difference. There is no Seto's Fault marked on this map. Whereabouts then? You say by Lapshire.
Points on the map, and when he touches it, like, it's not actual fire. You know what I mean? It's just prestidigitation, some invisible ink that'll go away in like a minute. Like, it would be right here, and it kind of creates the look of where it would be and how it would look.
Oh, why would you mark my map?
It is a temporary. It is, and he kind of like pokes again, and it goes away instantly because he doesn't make it stay that long. You know what I mean? Because it was just for your edification, so you had a better understanding of the placement of Seto's Fault.
Oh, it was magic. I see. And then she.
That's a one for you, man. Like,
yeah, right. Like, what am I gonna do? So, and she starts drawing out the details of Seto's Fault on her own map. Right. You've said changes over the last twice century, but you'll notice the information you've given is recent. I have to inquire. Why twice century?
That is for our own private. I'm sorry to be so secretive, you see, but our research is not quite complete, and there are many scholarly poachers lurking in every corner. I'm sure you understand.
Poachers? Oh, I'm not a fan of them myself. But
Diabolical.
I must assure you, as Gruta here will tell you, other than my fiendish nature towards fish, I am quite reliable. Except for maybe in the arcane arts, I'm becoming less reliable in that from my age.
Oh. But you make effort with great beauty and dignity.
Well, I do say so myself. I regularly floss twice a year with fish.
It shows.
Thank you. And you see as she's talking, there is fish bone coming out of.
Oh, didn't doubt it for a second.
Yeah.
Roll for smolder.
Right? Yeah, right. Let me.
Oh no, this is not someone you want to catch.
This. I don't think you understand. Seto wants to catch everybody.
A snapping turtle?
A snapping turtle? What's wrong with that? Not
That's
everything
not
has
gonna
to
go
be
out.
sexual.
There is no
that is a good ally.
scenario in which betting a snapping turtle is going to end well for you.
You don't know my definition of well.
Does it involve retaining your genitalia?
I'll be real. I'm gonna quote my favorite TikTok at the moment and say, "Men will fuck a warm can of beans." That's like,
All right, roll for. I get a 10. I don't think I'm her type. But yeah, that's just for the overall stuff. I just made a charisma persuasion roll to befriend.
Okay.
But it's still small, you know.
I'm gonna say
Intellectual small.
as her eyes are more on the predatory side, she is able to kind of see you with a large no-shaped gap. So as you're trying to smolder, she only really notices your mouth. And only really pays attention to your words. And she goes, "Yes, well, frivolities aside, I would suggest that if you want information from me and you have given information to me, then I owe you one small change." And she pulls out a map of Hanka.
Thank you, my dear.
1 second.
Thank you, my dear.
One good hanky map.
As you can see, there is now a map. I'm proud of map.
Wait, you made that map?
I made the map.
Wow, that's a great
awesome.
fucking map, bro.
Thank
For
you.
making yourself. I'm proud of you.
That's cool as shit. Is that
I
the
do
current
like it.
one or the old house Hunka?
This is what I saw.
That's fucking
This is
sexy.
current. This is current. You see, as a fish lover, I have been aware of a lack of fresh fish in this area. And although salted fish isn't so bad, they tend to remove the bones. And those are the best bits to crunch. And you hear her like trail off into some form of fish bone crunching talk until Gruta coughs and goes, Eliza. Yes. Now, I have distinctly noticed a lack of moisture in this area that was on the map. And she shows the map that you guys normally use to travel with. There should be an oasis that was home to many a catfish, you see. But it's lacking, as it were. And in fact, funny you mentioned that show. I do have to go there sometimes to go and get my annual feast. At this stage, Liza has started to almost entirely ramble about fish. Walden, give me a wisdom save.
A wisdom save? Oh,
You are being attacked by knowledge. Ooh, nice.
Okay. From that, you would therefore remember, there are no barracks on this map.
none?
None.
That's fascinating. But there's like a city guard, right? Like there are soldiers, right?
Yes, and if you give me 1 second, I will move us onto a
Big boy map.
big boy map. So, frame of reference. The scholars are here.
Oh. Okay.
By these gardens. These are the botanical gardens.
Oh, all right.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yum. The Goblin Slum District is, as you can see, there's a few houses in the cliff face. The Central Plaza is well, the
Not quite as centrist.
Oh, yeah.
But-
Okay.
uh
Oh,
yeah, the
That's
main
then that's not that. I wouldn't even call that a mistake. That is how shit gets made sometimes.
yeah. From your memory, I think it would be fair to say that you distinctly remember Hanker not being this big.
Okay.
And having more water. Like, in fact, from memory, looking at this map, you would have estimated that all of this should be water.
Well,
And all of it should be water and currently
oh,
isn't.
Shit. That's a
Oh.
lot. That's a
No, 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 no.
Oh God, that's a big difference.
Yeah, probably even more, to be honest. Probably most of that desert.
Yeah, there probably would but of the city.
Yeah.
right.
I will mark out what should be on the map in that. And then that portion of the city should be fairly
Oh,
submerged.
fuck.
That's a huge difference in only like 200 years. That shit.
Can I use like just my like I guess general knowledge of like tortoise folk and whatnot to like figure out how old I think this tortoise is? 'Cause I assume that they're probably pretty fucking old.
I would say you would have needed to encounter enough turtles to have a frame of reference of how turtles age, as they are already fairly wrinkly as they have retractable necks.
Okay.
I would say if you wanted to go the long way around rather than asking, then you could do a nature check and recall your memory of other tortoises.
I'll do that first.
Okay,
That way I don't offend a bitch.
that's understandable. Although she's not.
Given how she's been, she may still be offended, but we'll see.
I don't know. Yeah, I would say you really can't tell. Like
Okay.
there's just something timeless about that to see.
So then I'm also going to follow up with I assume I've learned something about the world when I was a kid. I'm 225 years old.
Ah, that's a merry age. Twice century yourself.
Yes.
Wow.
So me as a kid, would I have like learned anything about world geography or anything to know that like to collaborate with Wally's thoughts on this?
I would say you would have needed to be actually in Hanker, as from what you can tell, there is enough effort going in to cover up this situation that without being a bird in the sky to perceive the difference. So you would have to tell me that you'd actively investigated or not.
Well, not that. Like I'm saying, like as like a kid druid, I assume that I was taught about the world and what it looked like.
No, druids' teachings would really be about their specific forest.
Okay.
You would learn about nature, but you would specifically learn about your forest that you protect.
Gotcha. Okay. That's one to verify. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the D&D lore of druids is about it's almost akin to like if you have like archdruids and stuff, they have like almost like a lair of
Gotcha.
their own
A
forest.
grove, yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm
a
out of my
grove,
element.
yeah. No, that's fine. Essentially,
You're out of
think,
your
yeah,
element, Donnie.
that is the kind of situation. Yeah.
Okay, then that's it. I was just trying to know what I knew passively.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Okay, so I do want to ask about like when this like because they know about the water disappearing. They talked about it in a way that they kind of observed it happen over time. I'll be like in regards to this oasis going away, do you know when exactly that happened?
Yes. Well, this is the curious thing. I have a habit, you see, of being a hibernationally acquired life form. Um, Burying myself deeper in the depths of the world. Now, when I woke up, nay, quarter of a century ago, there was significantly less water. When I woke up, nay, a century ago, there was a lot more water. So somewhere in the last 100 years to 25, the water has gone from bountiful to nay present.
Okay. Um,
Well, that doesn't
does-
sound natural.
it doesn't, but it does now.
I've been too afraid to hibernate recently, all these earthquakes. I assume they're part of it. But this is the strangest thing to me. And Gruta knows I was trying to meet with Martha. In fact, Gruta, have you heard of Martha? Where is she?
We've been carrying Martha around.
What?
Aren't we holding?
Yeah,
Isn't like Martha just like on somebody in the back?
I think we'd left them to be safe.
Did we leave them with Yen?
yeah, Yen,
Crack,
Crick, and
Druid,
Crack. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jorg, yeah. Because of dragging bodies into town into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frowned upon in this establishment.
Fair enough.
Well, in that case, let me see them. Let me help.
We'll take you. Just I have another quick question for you.
Yes.
Where are the barracks on this map?
Barracks. I see
I've
what you
seen
mean.
Soldiers and guardsmen, they must have a place to sleep, coordinate, store supplies. That's not listed on.
Yes, well, my understanding is that since the recycling started, the barracks were moved into the temple grounds. So soldiers of the flesh, being divinely blessed, as you were, to be able to take on the rite of murder. Although they don't like it when I say murder, they prefer me to say justice.
What? I'm sorry. There's a lot in that one sentence. Okay. Recycling?
Yes, recycling. They've changed things. In fact, I had noticed it curious that you of your compadres are the more vocal of intellectuals. I had not considered that before. Say, what is your unit?
I was a Dune unit.
Dune. Darn, yes, that makes sense. Yes, you see, they're all force units now.
Right.
Well, what with the treaty, people weren't allowed to, mess with the taboo, and quite the war. Anyway, so they've been recycled.
Okay. Oh, okay. And like Walden is just like hands on his head, just kind of like trying to process all this, and it's just like, what do you mean war?
Oh, uh, how old are you? One of you meant,
I've been out of commission for a while. I'm not exactly sure how many years. Likely over 200.
I see. And what were your names?
My name, I'm a Walden.
Walden. And you two fellows.
Steve, the Furblog Druid.
And you?
I am.
Yeah, what's your name?
I am
what's
of
your
no,
name, bro?
Sir?
I'm of no consequence in this particular conversation.
You just had to name it Seto's fault. You had to name it with your name.
But
Oh, that's
our-
your name. Seto, I see.
Well, I
In that
didn't say that's not what a character.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't. I didn't say that out loud. I ain't trying to be a snitch.
It's like, I ain't snitching now. Hey.
This is... Well, I'm Liza. There isn't a need for withdrawing information here, but I think maybe we should all make haste to Martha and before then sit. I think you should all sit. And they kind of like present some what you can only really describe as lumps of sand shaped like chairs.
It's basically a beanbag.
I'm sorry the furniture doesn't move.
Gonna, like, I kind of like poke it to see if it'll like collapse if I try to sit on it.
I just sit on it. I trust
Yeah.
her.
Just he like kind of falls back into the chair. Just
I really hope it's very like beanbag-esque.
yeah,
It
that's
is
where I'm at.
absolutely beanbag-esque.
Nice.
Something slightly arcane seems to be holding them in like a form, like a net, like an arcane net of sand. And she, kind of plonks herself down on one of these dune bags. And I don't know much about your but two of you have mentioned a twice century of age, and I myself have had a few years in my system now. A thrice century, actually. And it seems you're not aware of the wars. Walden, dear, do you know what powers your system?
It was attempted to be explained to me, but I couldn't fully comprehend it at the time. Some rare material that has this like magical property to it, where I'm not exactly sure what it is.
I see. A long time ago now, there was a rather fantastic professor. Academy accepted his research, and the factory was built, and things were tested, prototypes were made, yourself being one of them. I believe you are the fourth generation of the prototypes, the most successful as a Dune. There is no easy way of me saying this. There was a large conflict that, from my memory, mostly came about to do with the use of fossil fuel, and is why the treaty was signed to create a taboo over the Titan's bones. Now, your unit runs on that fuel, and the recycling is the recycling of that core into units with less autonomy. The force units are a frequency oscillating recycled core engine rather than a nitrous engaged fossil fuel. Um, there's no easy way to put it, my dear. Hanka committed some crimes against some people of the mountain in fear of them stopping our progress. The barracks were taken down as the war treaty was finalized, and the forest area and the mountain area and Hanka signed that we would not use the fuels. However, there have been problems, and there is energy leaking from those fossils. It supplies the continent with magic. It's why magic is so free and easy in this place. But the cost of this decay is almost like radioactive, and it's drawing energy into and out of places. You are stable as a June unit. It is the 4th generation. It is the successful generation. But there were many experiments that were not stable, and this is why they have been recycled and taken autonomy away. And I do not know how the earthquakes play into all of this, but my suspicion, and the reason I've been working on maps, is I suspect that the reason, how to say it, the reason people have stayed in power in Hanka may be to do with an excessively long life, if you will, making my life look premature. And that is what gives them power to alter maps, is knowing what to alter, I suppose.
Walton is just kind of sitting there. There's obviously some of this was already explained before, so it's not as like shattering as the initial discovery. But Walden's just kind of like sitting there, though, just shocked, and was like, "That's why. That's it."
You should know the treaty between the sea, the forest, and the valley. It was to be upheld by the strongest adventurers. Hanka no longer has those adventurers in power. Nobody here is in power due to their achievements. That is what Gruta and her alliance are trying to uncover and dismantle. But your units were made to aid in a cull, and there is no simple way to put that. As part of the treaty, it was agreed you would be recycled due to that.
Yeah.
Something rotten in this place.
Now that I can agree with you with, not enough fish and far too many birds.
Walden's gonna stand up and then like a turn to go towards the door initially without saying anything, but like stops himself and goes like, "Thank you for your information. We appreciate your help. I have something I need to do." And without waiting for a response, Walden just walks.
I'm gonna reach out to Wally and just go, "You are not your past."
I would like permission from Zoe to, and I guess Sage, but to use like insight and to see what you would be willing to tell me about what I see. If that's
Sure, yeah.
a cool way to do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sage, is that okay?
I'd say that's a roll between you two.
All right, cool.
I'm not actively like hiding anything, so I'm not gonna do like.
Well, it's more about like what I could pick. Oh shit!
It's very conflicted. There's a lot of conflicting issues. Knowing that, because like Walden himself didn't like was not a part of this war, was not a part of this cull or this like attack against this, the people in the mountains, and wasn't used for like anything in that case. Like, Walden's first and foremost duty was defending, was protecting somebody. But knowing that these other units were sent to do this like really horrific action is there's a really awful taste in their mouth for that. But it's also like they were sent to do this, but they aren't the ones, like they didn't cause this fight. They didn't, this was a directive placed upon them, and they didn't really have a say in the matter even before they had their autonomy stripped of them. Walden's just now figured out like how to be their own person long after being disconnected from that system. So there's the conflict there. There's another conflict of like these people, and in Walden's mind, they are people. They're full beings that had hopes and dreams and lives, and they were stripped from them. These people were essentially murdered for a reason that wasn't their decision. They were punished in an extreme way for something that they did not choose. And that's the thing that Walden is the most upset about. Now, there is the conflict of some of them have done some pretty fucked up stuff in regards to that. And Walden doesn't really know how to feel about that yet. But they shouldn't have been executed like this. And Walden is determined to... Walden knows he can't right this wrong, but he wants to destroy the ability to make this continue. That's Walden's current goal.
All right, sweet. So, yeah, you just kind of get like a knowing, like look from Seto, who is also going through his own shit. Like, you know what I mean? And there's just that moment that, like, you feel seen. I feel like that's a fair thing to say for 22. You know what I mean? into insight, but yeah.
Yeah, Walden's gonna leave the room. Walden will not immediately leave the like cave system. Walden will wait for you guys.
Oh, Seto's right behind you. He's not wasting any time. He kind of like gives a nod to Liza and follows.
Well, I dare say, anything to encourage the catfish back, I am all for. So if we will storm, I shall come with. And she gathers a couple more maps and scrolls incredibly quickly, huffs herself out the beanbag and follows with you. Gruta also in tow.
Never mind.
So Liza is coming with us. I'm gonna ask real quick. We're going to be heading into a fight. Are you prepared?
Oh, I've been itching to get something different in my teeth. Don't you worry, Sonny Jim. And she nods towards
Me
me.
and Jim.
Sonny Jim!
Love
Oh my god.
Says, Gruta, darling, I am ready for battle. So please, go forth to the others and recruit help. And assure me that Martha will be here on the turn of our victory. And Martha nods and kind of like stealthily.
Not Martha.
Gruta.
Gruta, yeah, sorry, my bad. But Liza in tow twiddles the staff ever so delicately in her large paws and says to you, now I'm assuming that you wish to go to the recycling factory, and I am right in front of you. Let us go.
Well, as they go, Seto kind of stuff, and it's like that moment where somebody just changes how they look by taking off their glasses, like kind of a Superman moment. But like he's no longer wearing the ascot; it's his mask pulled back up and the hood, and he's like back to like he doesn't have the hood up, just the mask, regular like kind of spiky, like who gives a fuck hair, you know what I mean? And he goes, well, then I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Seto.
Pleasure to meet with you. Now, you have a look of you that I recognize from my old long past, but later dates, I assure. And she just keeps striding.
I'm sure.
And
it
fuck
continues.
bitch up.
Yeah, let's
we're
time
heading
to
up.
fuck shit up. We're gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah, I'm just in awe with this turtle.
And somebody was mocking the smolder earlier. I seen it. The whole time, baby. Big, beautiful shelled queen.
Wow. You're right.
You guys make your way. Give me 1 second to position you.
Ooh,
Boop. As you go to storm the gates,
Oh, the gates.
luckily, well, yeah, it's kind of like an open arc, so it's got like a gate system more than a door because of all the fumes. As you go to do so, you do notice a distinctive lack of guards, potentially due to the crisis of the earthquake. However, one thing that you definitely would notice is that there are fumes in the air, still, even in this time of chaos. If you guys could give me a Constitution save.
Constitution save.
You
Even me
make your
with
way.
my robot.
Yeah, I would actually say yes,
I
but for slightly different
constitutified.
reasons. That's
you
your
constitutioner.
I have a saving throw against. I have
Fuck!
advantage on saving throws against
All
being
right.
poisoned,
Well,
and I have resistance to
Shadow
poison
died.
damage. I don't
I
need
will-
to breathe,
I
and
will-
I'm
I-
immune to disease.
That's understandable. Believe in me.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, I believe in you, and I rolled a 1, so what the fuck does that get me?
You'll see.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
Avenge my death.
This is the thing I'm best at too, which is ridiculous.
You said you get advantage
On poison.
on poison? Okay, it's not not so much. That's fine. I'll tell you about that later. You storm in, brazen as day, and
I want to like kick open the gates and then call out. Like, do I see workers?
I would say from the outside you do see two.
Okay, I'm gonna call out. Okay, so no, we're not in like the actual factory yet. We're just kind of.
You're about to knock down the door. Well, the gate. You're about to knock down the gate to get in, but through them they're gates because of the fumes.
Right.
They're not like solid doors.
I think I'm gonna hang back a little.
I want to just like because I want to say a thing, but I wanted to make sure that like the most amount of potential workers can hear.
If you're looking for most amount of potential workers, that probably wouldn't be this exact section.
Okay.
But there are people in the room you're about to enter.
All right. For them, as I kind of like kick through the gate, I'll just kind of like look at them and tell them to like just get out.
Okay, bear with me. As you enter the gate, give me a strength check and an intimidation.
Check. Could be better. Intimidation is better.
Sweet. What I'd say is the strength was just to see if you're strong enough to push these wrought iron gates asunder and see how well you do it. I would say this does aid your intimidation as they see what, as far as they're aware, shouldn't be existing, opening the gates with their foot and telling them to get the fuck out. The two factory workers in front of you seem to be artificers of a lower rank, and startled, shocked, and confused, look at you, look at each other, probably piss themselves slightly, and do indeed run around to see if you'll even let them escape.
Yeah, I'll move to the side to let them get out.
And they do. They run completely.
You get this look
Smelly
from
underwear.
Seto, like, are you sure?
Not them I have the beef with.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow those people, but at a distance.
They are running away. Like, out.
Yeah, no, I know. Can I do that? Are they I don't know.
Can or should?
It's a question of do you want to fully separate from the
Because
party?
yeah, basically what I'm saying is if you do follow those two people who are scared running away, that would take.
I don't want them to tell everybody else that a Warforge is about to cause all this havoc, and then sully Walden's name and make people think that he actually did all the things that they think he did.
That sounds like a Seto
I would
problem.
say that considering what could go down, that might be the least of the problems about to occur.
Here's the thing. The part of the reason why I didn't bother is because like I'm gonna raise some hell. There's gonna be guards coming on the way anyway.
Yeah. Like, I understand the logic. That was a less peopled room.
Alright.
Okay, I don't know.
I think okay, here's the thing. D&D is only ever going to be that deep if you want it to be.
Well,
So while I
this is how my character is thinking.
Okay, because above table, this is kind of what I'm running into, is this real world level of logic applied to a place that isn't real. and I get it because I do it and I know I do it. But at the same point in time, it's like Baldur's Gate, right? There are only so many options I can program in, and after that aspect, I run out of mechanics to apply.
Gotcha. So they just ran faster. I don't know where they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's how we want to do it, then that's how I'll start doing it. That's fine.
They have gone too far off screen.
They crossed the border and despawn.
The game is asking you if you want to change regions. Yeah, so
I don't have the loading time.
you don't have
It's gonna
to.
crash. It's gonna crash if I
It's
do.
gonna crash. My graphics driver isn't that new. Liza, witnessing this brash kind of entrance from Walden, goes, "Right, well, mighty proud of you already. Shall we?"
Yeah, charge forward.
Let's go to work, Wally.
And that she does.
Valen pulls the Settle pulls the hood up, like, and everybody knows that it's time for shit to happen.
Walden, dear, there are some things over here that may be of use. These lockers, they're where they keep a lot of the weaponry.
Okay. I'll head over there.
Are they locked? Do you need me? Does it matter? Now that I think about it, you know what I mean? Like, we're here to fuck shit up, break some shit. Get in there, it doesn't matter.
Now, a lot of this stuff is made for Waldens. You may get some use out of it. If I could just get a fishbone into this, and like, she's trying to get a fishbone into the lock of this cabinet.
Do you need? I'm really good at that kind of thing. If you need it,
By all means.
yeah. Let me get up in there and kind of skin of a do 14. I don't know if I'm doing better or worse than her.
I would say probably a bit better. You managed to jimmy this lock, and you do see a couple of kind of like basic bits of specialized equipment. It all seems like it's made to fit Walden units.
Nice.
But some of it seems in various different states of disrepair. Walden, you see that there is a chance that you could equip yourself with something useful.
Dangerous. Ooh, is there like just a long metal tube? Like an arm unit, like the center part to something?
There would be a pipe
Yes, like a pipe.
in the area. There would be a pipe. Yeah. Sorry, that's throwing me off a bit. Walden, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I might as well grab the stuff that I could use to boost myself up. I don't think there's anybody like. I'm assuming that the turtle isn't going to be able to like help install this on me.
Well, I'm not the most artificial person. However, there's always the chance that I might be able to help you pick something that might work.
All right, yeah, we'll fish through and see if there's anything that stands out.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second. Okay. Right. You do find something, and with Liza's help, she does a quick little bit of work around you and hands you something that almost looks like a shield. but it seems to have more capabilities than just a shield.
Okay.
Ooh, what the fuck?
Ooh, very cool. Yes.
That looks cool.
You
as
find
sh-
something made in your memory, probably out of some of your old unit colleagues. You recognize various parts of them have been Frankenstein slightly, but as Liza helps you fit it, you realize that this this is giving you a way to defend your future.
There's
And
definitely like a somber note to putting this on, but it adds this kind of like resolute aspect of like I am the last of this line and I have the chance to make this better.
I think we should make them proud, Wally.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to close the session and open up next time for combat.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I didn't mean to draw here, but I did want to put my echo by that in case somebody tried to run in on us.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just a bonus action, so I'm not going to penalize it out of combat.
All right, yeah. Whew. Oh man, next time we're gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking start a riot, kinda literally. Oh man. Oh, but,
Okay.
oh yeah, thank you for watching. This has been super dope. I forgot this was a stream for a second. Remember, life happens in every direction. Roll the ones and 20s. Have a good one. Bye.
You did that today.